Alright, guys, man. So let's roll in with the Champions League. So let me just put this out there right now. So now, a lot of people said Barcelona are on the decline. Neymar has left. You know, like Neymar was tired of being Messi's bitch. So he wanted to have someone else as his bitch, i.e. Mbappe and Cavani as well. But we also saw the kind of goals that Messi scored. With Messi, can Barcelona still call themselves favourites even without Neymar?
Yes. In a word, yes.
Yeah.
Favourites?
Messi's that
I wouldn't say favourite. Obviously,
That's the thing.
They're up.
With Messi doing what he did against Liverpool, it's Messi at his height. Even with a team without Neymar, can you put them as no? These are one of the favourites for the Champions League.
Yeah, I think with Messi, I think as long as Barcelona have got players who can find him, and got players who can make runs to give him space, Messi will always do what Messi does.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Is if you've got players like Andre Gomez, who's just literally taken up a number. That's all he's doing.
Yeah.
If you have players like him, Messi's going to struggle because you need the opposition to be fearful of a few players, not just him. So Suarez around him, Dembele around him, Iniesta around him. As long as they're there and they're making their runs and they've got their own threat, Messi will be Messi.
So I mean, but so what do you think? Do you guys? How well do you think Dembele will do in this Barcelona?
Quality player.
As good as Neymar?
I think he's slightly different to Neymar. Dembele, I think personally, at his age, I think he's the best player in the world for the young
20.
young players. I think obviously you have to put Mbappe in there as well, but Dembele is like the stuff he does. He's obviously assists. He had a lot of assists for Dortmund, which I think will help. And I think maybe he hasn't got that kind of. He needs to be more of an integral part to Barcelona, which might help Barcelona in the long run. Whereas Neymar might have thought, "No, I'm going to do it by myself." Dembele sees Messi there and he'll give him the ball. So I think it will be interesting to see how
he does it. He doesn't crave the limelight.
No, not like Neymar.
Wait, not yet.
Yeah.
So basically, you're pretty much saying that like at Barcelona, you pretty much have to be Messi's bitch.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Yeah, well, even the board of the manager.
Right. Maybe not to that extent, because Iniesta's not Messi's bitch, but he's also been there the whole time as well. So he's like part of the big boys.
You know what? This is gonna like just wrap it up. Basically, Messi managed to get himself a manager. What's his name? Tito. What's his name? Marino, whatever.
Yeah.
He was basically signed by Messi because he coached Messi in Argentina. Messi was like, I want him to be the next manager. They brought him in. He had no European experience or whatsoever. He was literally a manager assigned by Messi. He's got that kind of power.
Villanova, I think. Yeah, Villanova.
No, it was I can't remember his name. I need to look at his name.
But
if anyone knows his name, let me know.
They don't really hire any managers since Guardiola. It's always been a bit weird who they.
Well, Luis
sign.
Enrique is a club legend.
He is, but it was still a very weird appointment. You know what I mean?
We mean this Valverde guy? Or
no, I even think Luis Enrique was a bit of a weird appointment because even though he's a club legend, it's like they never want you to have proved yourself to be the manager. Even if you've got like any kind of association, it's like, he can be manager.
I think it's all about Messi. I think you have to come in and say, look, wait a minute. Actually, Messi runs Barcelona. Don't get it twisted. Yeah. You can't be like a manager. Let's see, Jose Mourinho could never coach Barcelona because if Mourinho comes, Mourinho will say, Messi, step to the left. I run the stuff now. Every manager that comes in, you pretty much got to pay homage to Messi, which is true because look, when a guy's won that much, what can you say? But my whole thing is that, like, so your guys are saying that Messi is best, you will still put Barcelona as favourites alongside Real Madrid, that we guys are saying? Because for me, I think
PSG as well.
I think
PSG are going to do something this year.
I'd put Real Madrid as first favourites, Bayern Munich second, Barcelona will be on our
Bayern?
Yeah.
With that wretched performance against Anderlecht.
I know they're struggling, but when they hit stride, they're going to be up there.
German as well, and they're reliable. They will at one stage.
Once they hit stride, they will be up there.
For me, let's first of all, let's go to PSG to begin with. Now, I think that it would be pretty rude and disrespectful if Neymar says, you know what, I'm going to just waltz into PSG in my first season and win the Champions League. That'd be stupid. So for me, I think that like because I've seen this time before, like it's almost too good to be true. Because we're just watching the Galacticos like edit today, and it's like football doesn't work like that. It doesn't work where best attack. I mean, four of the greatest like offensive players, and you win everything. That doesn't happen because again, look at Real Madrid. It's a team.
Yeah.
Yes, you've got Cristiano. Benzema is still crap. But you've got to see what it's no, he's garbage. He's garbage.
Wow.
Wow. He's only there because Zidane is Algerian. So there's a whole Algerian French thing. That's the reason why he's in the team. But everybody knows that he's overweight. He's an anvil, and he's just upset with him. He is an anvil.
You know.
You
know what? 4 or 5 years ago, I would have agreed with you, but he's proved me now.
No.
He's
not crap.
5 years ago. That was when I was saying, because remember, that was when, like, when did he move from Lyon? Was it
about 6 or 7? For about 6 or 7 years now.
Has it been that long?
It was good then.
Okay, when he first moved, that was when I wasn't convinced. After a year or two, he proved to me, no, do you know what? He's
the perfect foil for Real Madrid.
Yeah, he doesn't need the limelight.
Yeah, what he does opens up. It's the same I was saying about Messi at Barcelona. You need players around to open up for other people. And Benzema does that for Real Madrid.
Okay, so
he puts in the hard work at the front, the slog. He holds the ball up really well, brings the others in. I think he's the perfect foil for Real Madrid. So I think Ronaldo and players like that kind of need.
Okay, so PSG then. So let me just get your guys' views on this now, because in my view, like, I just want to disrespect teams. So when I saw against Celtic, I need more of that. I need more 4-5-0. I need more disrespect. But I think that I'm saying quarters max again, because I think that the issue is Emery. And I don't think that people shouldn't get sort of like overexcited. Like, gosh, Neymar on Barca, because Cavani will get a 1-on-1. He'll get an open goal and he'll miss it. That's a fact. So let me get your thoughts on PSG.
What's wrong with that guy? But Emery, he still won the European title, even though it wasn't the Champions League.
At Camp Nou?
Yeah, you can't.
What happened there?
No elite.
4-0 lead?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. That is... It's unforgivable. It's unforgivable. 100%. It's unforgivable. But sometimes complacency can slip in football. Sometimes there can just be this wave coming at you, and you just don't know what to do about it. And it was at the new camp. Everything was going for Barcelona. It was like it was meant to be. It was like it was written in the stars.
That was not complacency. That was just ill tactics. These tactics were wrong from start to finish.
But here's what. See, this is the thing. I always feel sorry for managers, because it was like the 13-14 season when Brendan Rodgers never set back against Chelsea and he tried to win, and then we lost. It was like, if he'd just got a draw, play for the draw.
But you can't.
Managers can't win. If Emery had come back and sat back and lost 5, it would have been like, why did you just sit back? Why is that all you did? Managers can't win, you know. Like,
come on, Drifter, let's be real here. If they had a proper defensive plan, you don't concede.
Remember,
this is a weaker Barcelona team. Barcelona do not score 6 goals if you're going up against a defensive team like PSG.
I get that, but you still have to remember that at the new camp, when Barcelona are being rampant, sometimes it just happens. You just can't do anything about it.
Would you not say it's similar to the Champions League final with us and Milan then? You look at the team Milan had, they should never have lost the lead that they had at half time to us.
See, but that you could put down to complacency. Because at half time, you're thinking, well, we've got this in the bag, it's finished. But PSG won the first leg. They had a whole week to tactically figure out what they wanted to do. In the start of the 90 minutes, all they had to do, instead of just sit back and say, Barca, have the ball, blah, blah, score the first goal. Score the first goal, deflate the new camp, go up Barca, they're not expecting that.
Easier said than done.
No, but look at what PSG have on the pitch.
But they conceded 6 as well. Conceding, for me, you look at that Milan Liverpool thing. 3-0 seems crazy, but the thing what Liverpool did, they scored very early from the second half. When you score early, it's 3-1. Then you score 3-2. Once it's 3-2, we're in the game. 3-1. Once you score early, that's like once you have a 4-0 first leg lead and you score an away goal as well. Come on,
just think of mentally what that does to the fans and the players. But he went there and he thought, right, let's sit back and try and sort this out. And Barcelona told him to
No, but to be fair, a lot of people were criticising because they felt like PSG didn't sit back enough. A lot of people were saying that PSG should have just defended and didn't try and play out all.
That's the problem. They defended, but not well.
Yeah, very badly.
But I feel like they did keep trying to break on them. Like, I felt like there was quite a lot of attacking in PSG that game. Like, they did keep every time they were trying to I don't know. I guess it's a lose-lose.
What's Barcelona's strength? They have the ball, they break teams down. So what do? Keep the ball away from them. That's what PSG has to do.
But at the new camp, that is extremely difficult.
Sometimes you just got to take your hat off and say, it was an amazing bit of football from Barcelona. I think sometimes you've got to not look at the negatives and think Barcelona just went there and tore them to shreds. There's things they could have done, but sometimes you've got to say, Barcelona were a better team at the end of the day.
I think Emery will never live that down.
Nah.
No,
Do you know what I mean? I think,
unless he wins the Champions League.
yeah,
I still think it's really unfair though to judge him on that one game when the guys won. Obviously,
I will.
I think
I know it's only Europa League, but the guys won a European competition on more than one occasion. You can't just judge him for that one game.
I think the biggest thing to judge him on is the fact that they didn't win the league.
Yeah, but again,
that's the biggest thing. They didn't win the league. PSG.
Fair enough, but Monaco just had one of them Leicester seasons, but with better players. So can we really judge them again? Like Monaco were just so good with so many good players that obviously were kind of unknowns. But now look, they're spread around Europe. That you can't really see. Like, if you look at it now in hindsight, the Monaco team was almost as good as the Paris Saint-Germain team. So it wasn't really an underdog story when you think about
but still, it's like...
Do you know what I mean? It started that way, but now it doesn't actually look like that.
You shouldn't be losing the league to fetuses, man, really. You know, those Monaco guys are like fetuses. But, okay, so... What are you saying with PSG? Like, how far do you think, based on what you've seen so far from them in the season, how well Neymar is looking? I think Neymar has like 8 goals, like 6 assists.
If they stay free of major injuries, they can afford a few injuries. But if they can stay free of major injuries, I wouldn't be surprised if they were in the final. Not at all. I wouldn't be surprised at all. When you can bring people like Draxler and Di Maria off the bench.
But no Matuidi. Is Thiago Motta enough to be...
I feel like Matuidi was a mistake. I feel like they should have...
I think Rabiot is a good replacement. Rabiot is a very...
But does Rabiot do what Matuidi does? I don't
think they've got anyone in that team who does what Matuidi does anymore. But
you've got Verratti.
I think Verratti, Rabiot and Motta are very strong central midfield. Outside of that, if anyone gets injured or suspended, I don't know what they're...
But you know what they'll do though? They'll just go in January and buy someone. That's what they'll do. Do you know what I mean?
Financial, can they do that? Isn't that why?
Well, considering Neymar paid for himself and they own Monaco, they haven't really spent much.
Let's quickly touch on Bayern before we go into all the Premier League teams. So, again, Bayern, because you put them in as one of the potential favourites.
They will always be one of the favourites.
Yeah, they'll always be in there. They just Bayern Munich.
Strides so far.
But in my view, this is how I view Bayern. I don't know whether you guys view. I think Ribery is too old. He's now past it. I'll always support Robin. James hasn't been relevant since 2014. Tolisso, the guy that they bought, doesn't do it for me. Lewandowski looks as if he's frustrated and fed up with his role in the team. Muller looks like he's actually having some kind of beef with Ancelotti and with the Harris, and he's thinking that they may actually are thinking of actually selling him because of
which I never thought would happen.
So there was talk of Muller leaving a couple seasons ago.
But I think it's very so. Because I don't put Bayern as favourite. I respect Bayern. I always respect them, but I just don't. In a game against Real, Barcelona, PSG,
I wouldn't call them favourites, but Dev's right. They're definitely one of the teams. If you said, all right, name your semi-final, it'd be stupid to not name Bayern. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But I get what you mean. Like, I wouldn't call them favourites like how I will sit here now and be like, I can't really see who's going to stop Real Madrid. Like, if I'm honest with you, I'm even more convinced than I was before that I can't really... It does sound stupid to think 3 in a row. It's like, surely...
No, that's not happening.
Surely it can't happen.
It's not happening.
But over the last few weeks, I've just thought, who will beat them? Like,
something
who will stop Real Madrid?
It's impossible for the integrity of the Champions League. Same thing as why... it's the same reason why I want some carrier back thrown out of the Champions League, because what I saw against Chelsea was, that's just stupid.
Yeah, but they earn their right to do
No.
Going back to Bayern, I think Bayern are transitioning. They're transitioning. They've lost Philipp Lahm, they've lost Alonso. As you said, Ribery's old. Robin's probably in his last season at Bayern. So they are transitioning. But this team that they have at the moment, they will hit their stride. Remember, they've got quite a few new players coming in. Okay. What you said about Lewandowski is true. He doesn't look happy. He doesn't look like he's 100% on board. But... Bayern have got weapons. Yeah. They have got weapons. I mean,
and Ancelotti,
James has only just made his debut. He's played like 12 minutes for Bayern. Or whatever, so.
Ancelotti's the guy. He'll sort it out. He's the guy.
No. I think the kind of people who are sort of like insulting Ancelotti say, "Oh no, we need to sack him. He's not as good as Pep." I think that's just been very disrespectful to Ancelotti. And you have to give this guy some time based on what this guy has done for flipping AC Milan, PSG. So it's just that. Again, this is just what I've seen so far. What I've seen so far in the Bundesliga and in the first game in the Champions League, I'm like, I can't put them as favourites. But then, who knows how much better they can do.
Yeah, they'll pick up speed.
So let's look at domestically now, Premier League. So, which team do you think out of the Premier League will go the farthest? I'm looking at Man City and United as a dark horse. But Tottenham are like
You know,
depends on the draw. Depends on the draw.
Since our last meet-up,
Yeah.
a lot's happened. a lot has happened. And I hate to admit it, but I think the only real representation in Europe this season will be from United.
Not City.
Why not Chelsea?
Even though I still think City are a really good team, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I still see a bit of frailties, and if like maybe a few defensive injuries happen, which is bound to, I don't quite think that they can just keep outscoring when it gets to the business end of everything. Whereas United, I hate to admit it, they just look solid from front to back. They really do. And one or two injuries doesn't seem like it will derail them like I thought it might. Do you know what I mean? Like it'll be interesting to see what happens now. Pogba's got this injury because he's very important. But
we haven't even seen Herrera this season. So
that's what I'm saying. He'll just come in now.
Yeah.
I hate to admit it, but I think Man United will be the best English representation in the Championship.
I think Chelsea will do well as well. I do think Chelsea will do well.
I think Man United will probably go the furthest out of the English teams, however far that is. I agree with you. They look solid from front to back, and with Ibrahimovic coming back and probably going to be in the squad for the knockout phases as well.
Lift everybody as well.
It's just
Basically, my only thing with United is, I mean, I get it from a tactical viewpoint, but I'm just thinking of like, okay, we're in a quarterfinal now. Do you trust Lukaku to get that goal? Because remember, Rashford, Lukaku, these guys are like sub 25. Do you trust them to have the balls to be able to deliver in a quarterfinal? That's why I would say that.
Based on evidence, no. But this could be a new beast. You never know, do you know what I mean? By then, Mourinho would have had Lukaku for, 4, 5, 6 months. His confidence might be way higher than it's ever been. You just don't know. It's going to be learning with Man United, with Lukaku now, because we don't know if this level he's ready for. This will be the proof.
But then it goes back to what I was saying, Ibrahimovic.
Yeah.
They have that
for real, yeah.
Ibrahimovic.
What has Ibrahimovic ever done in the Champions League? Please tell me.
He scored goals in the Champions League.
He's got pedigree.
He scored goals.
I mean, there's a lot of...
After 4 seasons in the PSG, what did you do?
I must admit, there's been a lot of times I have watched him in the Champions League and thought,
He's been crap.
Where was he today? And at 35, it's like even less likely. But that's Ibrahimovic, man. There's just no way you can write that guy off.
No,
at any moment of any game.
No. In Europe, I'm writing him off. Domestically, I'll write that because
that might come back and bite you, man.
No. Look, I'll write it down because I respect Ibrahimovic, what he has done domestically, i.e., what's it called? Syria, Eredivisie. Yeah. He's pretty much won in like 4 or 5 different leagues. Hence why he even wants to come back to complete the sets of doing in the Premier League. But in Europe, Champions League, PSG were in a lot of last 16s and a lot of last 8s where he didn't show up. You were brought. That's what Neymar is. He knows what the deal is. Neymar knows that you brought me in to do what Ibrahimovic couldn't do. So I'm here to do what Ibra couldn't do. So that's why I say that Ibra for me isn't really a real joke in the park for them within the Champions League. In the Premier League, yeah. In the Champions League, I don't think so. So my thing with Man City is that the reason why I still say Man City are true. Defensively, they are crap, and John Stones is still garbage. But it's like that attack is still very good, and I just think luck could just be on their side, where they're in a game where they play a team that just are not able to put away those chances. Whereas as we all said before, De Bruyne is a ridiculous player. So you've got to
when you sent the WhatsApp thing yesterday, it was like, who would want to play against this?
Yeah.
I looked at that team, and I struggled in world football. I'm not even exaggerating here to think. Who has a better front five than that? Like Silva, De Bruyne, Aguero, Jesus. I was looking, I was like, who's got a better front five in world football? Like, and I'm not gonna lie, that is just the scariest front five.
That's probably what Pep is just thinking. He's thinking, everyone says about his defence, but he's like, I'll just split the team in two. Attack and defence. That's it. You not do that. You not do that. And
which is what Fernandinho is there for. Fernandinho like, look, man, you're that holding guy just to tackle. But same thing as well. Like, obviously, we'll get to your lovely Liverpool. Obviously, if City got like a really good 1 or 2 defenders, man, that's it. Like, I'm looking at it. This guy Umtiti, who I think is one of the most underrated defenders out there. If they just put in Umtiti in Man City, man, boom, then we have a team that can really sort out any two-legged situation.
There's under Laporte as well, weren't there? Quite a bit. He had an injury, but he's a really if they got him with Otamendi, that could be a solid.
You mean Umtiti?
Laporte.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Solid player. I think he'd be a really good player.
Otamendi's just got to be
No, you know what? I think you can have an Otamendi, but you have to have
fourth choice.
You have to have a Vincent Kompany from 5 years ago next to him.
Yeah.
He's too much. He's Man City's Lovren.
Someone's got to have a leash.
Okay, so you're saying that there's no space for Stones then?
I would, me personally, if you play, because yesterday he played 4 at the back. He played 4 at the back, and he played Stones and Otamendi. They weren't tested at all, but in big games, those two will cave in. They'll cave in without taking a sledgehammer to look.
Okay, so look, Liverpool. So basically, do you know the funny thing is this is that look, man. I mean, it's almost like this is what I was saying in my review. It's like Groundhog Day. It's almost boring because you're saying the same thing again and again and again because Lovren we've been so open about Lovren since last season and now, and it's like for Klopp, he just wants to listen. Sevilla were there to be beaten because Sevilla are one of those teams where it's very pretty pass, but there's no cutting edge. That team is there just to get beaten, and 2 goals are enough to beat that team. Yeah. Because the 2 goals that Liverpool conceded, you shouldn't concede. It's not like it was like a 30-yarder, a guy dribble pass. These are 2 goals that you shouldn't really beat because one is like Lovren who completely missed that ball, and the second one is that you should never allow a player to go right through the heart of your defense. That is like a no in football. So
and that's happened a few times already this season in Liverpool. Players literally just walking through the middle of the pitch.
But you know what it boils down to Van Dijk for me. If we'd have got Van Dijk, it wouldn't have happened. But Klopp is such a stubborn manager that he's I don't want anybody.
But then on that Van Dijk thing, because I was reading something today, he said because that's in relation to Van Dijk, do you think one player could basically change everything? And he said, no, one player couldn't change everything, and that's. I mean,
but he's right. I think he's right. I think people are getting too caught up in the Van Dijk thing. Of course, it would have been wonderful to have him.
You can improve.
He isn't changing everything. He might clear the chance yesterday when Lovren missed it. Fair enough. But it's only a start. He ain't a superhero. He's not going to be able to do everything. And I'm telling you, we are just bad defensively. Just organisation, just positional sense, just everything.
But let me give you a quick comment and I'll go back to Boateng. For me, Boateng is a perfect example because Boateng is one of those guys where especially I was watching him closely for Bayern under Pep because Boateng knew that okay, I'm in an extremely attacking team. I've got to read the game like crazy. So the amount of interceptions that Boateng did from counter-attacks from the opposing team were crazy because his reading of the game was amazing. So you put Boateng in the Liverpool team, and he says, "Okay, man, this is a very attacking team where everybody's going. These Moreno's fucking cucaracha, just going around." So Boateng knows that look, man, my positioning has to be fully legit because everybody's going. And you put Boateng in your defense, you just see that all of those kinds of chances that start coming will start being caught up by him.
We need Hippier back. Get Hippier out of his grave.
I would love to have Sammy and Carragher back.
I think it's 2 things I was saying before to you about Klopp's stubbornness. Yeah. You had the best defender in your team was Saka.
Yeah.
Now his stubbornness, not bringing him back in. Sometimes you're going to say, you know what, it's for the best of the team. Let me bring him back in.
Yeah.
Saka in that Liverpool defence would make a massive improvement.
Him and Matip would be a decent partnership.
On top of that, the defensive midfielder. I was saying before. Yeah. Every successful team at the moment has that defensive midfielder who allows the team to attack. But their first thought is, if this breaks down, where do I have to be?
Yeah.
Liverpool don't have that. Arsenal don't have that. That's why our defences are shit.
Lucas did it for us as well, didn't he? For quite a while.
You need to have that player, especially Chelsea got Kante. United now have Matic who does that job well. Tottenham have Wanyama or Dyer if they choose.
City have Fernandinho.
Real Madrid have Casemiro. Barcelona have Basket.
It's a necessity.
Everyone knows.
I don't know if Fernandinho is that good, but because he's disciplined in his job, he stands out as a player.
He knows what he's doing. And because
he's intelligent, Fernandinho.
He's like a Makelele type that just sits there and says, "I don't need to get involved."
I don't never.
You can't have because you literally cannot have, especially in modern football. You cannot have a team without a DM. It's impossible. And you're looking at Emre Can and Henderson is just your Roma.
Henderson's not good.
Emre Can isn't really. He's
Henderson is our defensive midfielder,
but he's not intelligent enough.
No, I wouldn't even say intelligent. I'll just say he's just not.
He's not a defensive.
He's just not defensive minded at all. You know what I mean? His first thought is where can I pass the ball and how can I get involved by running.
Exactly.
It's never how do I stop the other team from attacking me. It's just not.
Okay, so let's just quickly run through the other teams last few minutes. So Dortmund.
Oh man, I was disappointed with them yesterday.
Yeah.
Massively, man. Their squad is so stacked.
So you think they get it? So you're saying Spurs and Real Madrid to come out.
No, I still think Dortmund will get through the group above Spurs.
For me, I'm saying Tottenham. After that match, Tottenham and Real Madrid. Yeah. Because I think that, I'm not saying they'll win, I think Tottenham have figured out Wembley. Tottenham against Real at Wembley, I think that's just going to be an interesting game. I think Dortmund, the loss of Dembele was too much, and I don't think they can do too much.
But they've still got players. That's the thing. They've still got
their squad is stacked.
Pulisic is a good player. Aubameyang.
The only thing they're missing is a good goalkeeper.
Yeah,
but I think their squad is.
It could just have been one of those days. Let's face it. Dortmund sometimes have those days. How did we beat them at Anfield in the Europa League that time? They had that signed and delivered.
They had a perfectly good goal disallowed, which would have made it 2-2, I believe. So
for Lovren to get the winner, you know the game's got to be shit anyway, didn't you? Really? For Lovren to do anything positive, the game's got to be
still
rubbish.
The best celebration ever, though.
Yeah, he didn't know what he's doing.
But I think Dortmund will be alright. I believe in Tottenham. A lot of people don't, and I know I shouldn't because obviously they're a rival in the Premier League. But I just feel like Pochettino is the best manager in the league for me. Maybe not in credentials and everything, but I just feel like. I just like Pochettino, man.
Wow.
So you wouldn't put
best manager in the league?
In the Premier League?
As in, like, right now, not what he's achieved and all that kind of stuff. Wow. Of course, he's not in that
So
regard.
We don't have to win nothing to be the best now, yeah?
No,
he's won nothing in his career.
But it's where he's brought that
there's
team
an argument
from
both sides. I mean,
and what he's got them to the brink of. Like, but Tottenham have never been involved in any conversation ever.
We're talking Harry Redknapp got them in the Champions League.
Yeah, but that was like... Just about. It wasn't like
Modric,
now every time the season. But now every time the season starts, we're talking Spurs win the league. They've never been in this position ever.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
ever win the league. So
you don't know. Like
no.
Come on, we can't just write Spurs.
But the team that they've got right now, this Tottenham team they got right now, will be disbanded within 2 years. Telling you now.
But what if they win it by then?
They ain't gonna win nothing by then.
No. For me, I think they can win the league. They won't win the league because I don't think they've got the balls to be like, okay, that's it. You need to win this game. They'll fall. So
but they're getting better at that. That's what I'm saying.
They are.
They're getting better at that.
Fucked.
Okay,
I'm telling you.
Anyone, 3 injuries is a lot to any team.
All right, let's take Kane out of the team. Ali. Take Kane, take Eriksen.
They've lost Dele Alli. You know they've lost Kane twice in the previous seasons and still been alright.
Yeah, you take them out at the same time. You take Eriksen, you take Kane, and you take
Alderweireld
or Vertonghen out. They're struggling. I'm telling you.
But that's a lot to take.
Yeah, but that's what the other teams have always dealt with. Liverpool have had it. We've had it. The only ones doing it is Chelsea because they're all on.
So let's just like round this up. So basically, like Champions League. So who would you say is the team that you from the first week that you say, okay, this is the team I think I'm most impressed with, who can really go far?
I think PSG. I'm going to put my neck on the line. I think PSG.
I still think Real Madrid will win the league if I'm just being sensible. But I agree with Gaz. PSG impressed me the most. I know it wasn't a good team they were playing against.
No, but you still just beat.
Even watching them in the league, people are underestimating. They've got Neymar and Mbappe. I don't think this is crazy.
No. Yeah. I love it, man.
And they both just adapted like they've been there their whole lives. Well, it's not even.
I mean, Mbappe's played in the French league, and Neymar is like 10 times better than anything in that French league.
To be fair, I could play in the Cavani.
But at 18, 19, Mbappe has just taken this big move like it's nothing. 166 mil. What's that? Do you know what I mean? Like it's just nothing. Like that price tag weighs people down normally. He's just smiling. He don't give a damn. He's like, who cares how much I cost? I'm just gonna bang. So PSG impressed me the most.
Real Madrid for me. I'm not gonna.
I'll still go with Real Madrid for winners, but PSG impressed me.
No, for me, I think really it's like in my view, all I'll say is that I'd still say for Real Madrid based off the whole Cristiano factor. He's a goal scorer. He's an underwear model. But he's also a goal scorer. But I think that my dream final would be if you could have Real and PSG in a final.
And Neymar to score the winner.
Neymar to score the winner and Cristiano to miss a penalty. That would be the perfect.